It's an informal banquet type feeling, but we're gonna make this part a little bit more formal because we are doing a video that we'll send out to the rest of the chamber membership so they can see all of the winners of this year. So if it seems a little bit weird, I apologize, but we'll get through it. Okay, so obviously this year's banquet looks a ton different than normal. Who would have thought, right? 2020. We did go back and forth the board on whether we should have a banquet, like a full-blown banquet. And right about that time when we were making that decision, it was getting to the point where we knew we couldn't do that at all. We thought maybe we would skip this year's awards altogether, you know, just put a pause on 2020, forget it ever happened. Or we thought maybe we'd just do a video of the winners. And after a ton of discussion, we kind of came up with the fact that, especially this year, we've had a lot taken away from us, and you really never know what's going to happen in the future. So we thought, we don't want to skip this year, we want these winners to be recognized, and we want them to feel almost as special as they would if we were having a big banquet. So hence the smaller little gathering and the video that we'll be sending out to all of the members. So what a year 2020 has been. I think we've all can agree that we've rolled with some serious punches, and we've had very little time to adapt to everything. It's in a small community, it's not just our businesses that are, you know, shutting down for over a month. It's our friends, it's our neighbors, it's our families. So it's been tough to kind of see that, and as a chamber director, no less, it was a super tough pill to swallow. Chamber Board acted quickly to try to help in any way we possibly could. We hope you were able to benefit from the information and updates that we pushed out around the clock. Like I said, everything was changing so quick, so as soon as we learned of anything coming down the pipeline or any grants or information, we tried to get it to you as soon as we could. We also put together some of those restaurant guides where you could easily find, no matter where you were in the county, what restaurants were open for takeout and delivery and the times and everything. Everything got so mixed around that having a guide was nice during those times. While some of our events pushed forward, like Music in the Park, and we did still hold fireworks, although our Freedom Fest was kind of canceled, we had to put some of the other ones on hold. We hope to resume our in-person business after 5s as soon as people are comfortable to gather and as soon as it's safe and okay to do so. All of our fingers and toes are crossed for our summer events to hopefully continue as normal as possible. Hopefully in June we'll be in a totally different place than we are now. So originally we had decided to push tonight out until December. We thought that would give us some time to train a new person. Thought it would give us, we would give you time to, we'd be able to introduce that person tonight to you in person and over the video and kind of hand the reins off in that way. We don't have that person just yet. Obviously, I'm still here, but the board is working super hard to find that person so, you know, that person's in the position full-time, able to serve you guys better as chamber members. While I don't have all the updates for the future, I know that the Waushara Area Board of Directors is dedicated to moving this organization forward in any way possible and putting the best person in this position moving forward. I'm confident that they'll have some amazing ideas and maybe different ideas that I didn't have on how to pivot from this crazy year. I do want to thank you guys all one last time, officially from the bottom of my heart, not over an email. It's been some of the best years that I've had. So for all the support from each and every single one of you, thank you for trusting an inexperienced college graduate. I know in this room, Sue Apps and Nikki, they're on the hiring committee, along with a lot of others, and they took a gamble on me. So,
that was a good one.
So not only the board that hired me back in 2014, I think it was, but also to the board of directors I've had over the years. We've had a lot of switch out every year, but I have been surrounded with some of the most supportive board members and the kindest and the smartest people I could have ever asked for. So I will take everything that I've learned, which has been a ton, from you guys and from this position, and I know I'll be able to use it for whatever I do for the rest of my life. And for a lot of other reasons, the one thing I'm excited about things going back to normal, I hope to be able to crash a few of your business after fives and catch up with all of you without masks and without distancing and all that fun stuff. So with that being said, we can get on to why all of you are here to do some of the awards. I'm going to introduce the Nonprofit Award. So these people already know that they're getting the award, but we still want to honor them and give you a little background on everything that the Coloma Area Historical Society does. So they have been active in the life of Coloma since its inception and has accomplished a number of things in Coloma in the last 12 years. They were founded at the same time Coloma was celebrating its 150th birthday in 2008, shortly after the historical 1876 Balding store was moved into Coloma and renovated. Today it serves as the permanent home of the museum, and it's located in the Village Park. The collection of the Coloma Area Historical Society has grown so much over the years. They've even added on another building, which is now called a carriage house. This nonprofit's mission is to educate people about Coloma's past. The Spalding store was Coloma's first store, and the inside is in its original state. So if you've never been in it, it's worth a look. The store recreates the life of the past, and birth and death records are held in the back room for family history research. The volunteers get to pass on information to people who stop by the museum, and they also learn about Coloma's history themselves by looking through and cataloging all the information that's donated. Not only is the organization there to remind people of their local history, the Coloma Historical Society is very supportive of the Coloma community. For the last 5 years, the CAHS has sponsored concerts in the Coloma Community Park, which are attended by 200 to 400 people, and they open the museum to visitors every Saturday. They've sponsored 4 flea and craft markets in the park every summer, and they hold a chili cook-off in January. The Coloma Area Historical Society is also a member of the Coloma Business Association, and it supports community activities by always having a float in both parades that are held in the village, and they always have a scarecrow on Main Street in the fall. And they even started an event for the young entrepreneurs in Coloma. I think for the last 2 years, the Historical Society created a Children's Day at the flea market, where the children could have a free booth and they can sell anything they wanted. So it helps the kids learn about running a small business in the simplest way possible. They have even more activities planned for next year to engage the community's youth and get them active in the history. 2020 was the 80th birthday of the Coloma Water Tower, which is, if you ever need like a fun fact for a party, this is it. The Coloma Water Tower is the first ever freestanding lollipop water tower in the world, and they plan to hold a big celebration for it because 2020 was the 80th, so can't do it this year.
81st birthday.
It'll be the 81st birthday. Without this organization, there would be a void in Coloma. There would be no organized collection of history, no concerts in the park, and no markets. The impact of the Coloma Area Historical Society is profound and has been built up over the last 12 years. On behalf of the Waushara Area Chamber of Commerce, I'm proud to announce the Coloma Area Historical Society as the 2020 Nonprofit of the Year. You can come on up. If you want to say anything, you have the floor and the video. No pressure.
You don't want to say anything, just say thank you. This is Barb, our secretary, who does most of the work.
Hello, Barb. Here we go. You guys can put it in the museum.
Thank you.
And if you can stick around afterwards, we'll get a picture for the archives too.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Our next recipient has lived in the Waushara County for a lot of her life. She's been a prominent business person in the Coloma area for at least the last 30 years and is dubbed as one of the most active community members that they have. And up until this point, she thought she was here to see Sue Apps receive this award. So Karen Giese has been an absolute gem to our community. I was part of it. I have to say, when I called Karen, Sue came up with the idea to try to get her here, thinking that Sue was receiving the award, and Karen, in true form, was so excited. She couldn't think of a more deserving person than Sue, and she said she would do anything to get Sue here. So that is.
Take you for a wine.
It's a true citizen of the year right there. But like I said, she's been an absolute gem to our community. As vice president of the Coloma National Exchange Bank for over 30 years, she's held an active role in not only Coloma, but also the rest of Waushara County. Because National Exchange Bank has always been an active Waushara Area Chamber of Commerce member, Karen has been a well-known face at BA5 networking events over the years. She was even once one of the very few to step up and plan the Alice in Dairyland pageant that the chamber volunteered to host. Without Karen's help, it is unlikely that it would have been such a success. Karen is a member of the Coloma Business Association as well. She has volunteered at Nibbles and Sips, served brats and burgers at different Coloma events, and has been known to help whenever it is needed, no matter what it is. Although Karen is no longer a formal part of business, she's still committed to the CBA and attends their meetings and volunteers as needed. Besides being very active in her parish in Plainfield, planning the Polka Festival and taking care of the finances, Karen is also an instrumental member of the Coloma Lions Club. As a treasurer and co-chairperson of the Chicken Shoe, Karen can be found anywhere and everywhere helping with whatever needs to be done. And from conversations with Karen earlier this year, we were in pretty much the same boat trying to plan an event for early summer with a lot of stress and just going back and forth on what we should do. So definitely know that you care about your organizations. She is she's been honored. She has received the rare honor of the Lions Melvin James Award for her exceptional work and dedication to the Lions Club. And just like with everything else she does, they can count on her to do whatever needs to be done whenever it needs to get done. Karen volunteers in Coloma even when she isn't part of that organization. She has helped at the Methodist Church's Ice Cream Social, the Historical Society's events, and this year she's even helping at the Feeding America Farm to Family Drive-Up food distribution. Without Karen, a lot of things in Coloma and Waushara County would not get done. She's meticulous in her planning, loyal to her organizations, and she always carries out her commitments. For all these reasons and many more that haven't been listed, it's my pleasure to announce Karen Giese as the 2020 Waushara Area Chamber of Commerce Citizen of the Year. Here you go. Congratulations.
Give you a hug.
I know.
Air hugs everybody.
Wait a minute. Thank you.
And feel free to call Sue out for lying to you.
She never leads me astray. She always is my leader.
All right.
Thank you very much.
So I think we have one last award tonight, I think, right? Yep. Okay, I'll have Nikki Bachnet, who, before she comes up here, just needs to be recognized as maybe one of the longest standing board members the chamber has ever had. She took over someone's term. You probably had 2.5 years left of that term. And because she took over someone's term, she was able to run again 2 more times. So we're looking at like 8.5 years Nikki has dedicated to the chamber board. And she wasn't just a board member who showed up every Tuesday morning for the meeting. She was super active. Music in the Park, Freedom Fest, BA5s, you could count on Nikki. I counted on Nikki for a lot of things. So thank you, Nikki. I know you'll continue to be active in the community even after your retirement from the board, but thank you for everything you've done for me and for the rest of Waushara County as well. So, thank you. I will hand it over to you and you can announce our Business Person of the Year.
As Business Person of the Year for last year, I get the honor and the pleasure of announcing this year's Business of the Year. And not only is she well deserving, but she's a very dear friend. So Deb Plasek with Ideal Accounting is one of the most knowledgeable business people I have had the pleasure of knowing. With only being in the area for 6 short years, Debbie has quickly become one of the most prominent accountants and bookkeepers in the area. Not only does she possess the information, but she is so quick to offer to you when you are in need, whether you are a client or not. Debbie also helps multiple nonprofits in our area to keep their records straight and offer help even when they cannot afford to. Debbie is one business owner in particular who I've gotten to watch from the moment she started her business to how successful she is now. From not know many people in the area and having just a few clients, joining the Chamber's networking group to having to move into a bigger building and hire multiple employees just to keep up is nothing short of amazing to witness. Not only has she risen in the business community, but she has been an amazing asset to the Waushara community, Waushara Chamber. Before Debbie and her husband Steve got really involved in the Chamber, they offered to help the Freedom Fest, which doesn't typically happen a lot. From the moment on, they have been some of the most valuable Chamber volunteers we have had. They have been instrumental in the successful Music in the Parks, among all other events. They take coolers, restock beverages, haul to and from the park, and always are the first to help. They also have forfeited their holiday weekends to help the Freedom Fest and Breakfast with Santa, and have been 2 people we have been able to count on for so much. Besides being one of the nicest humans you will ever meet, Debbie deserves to be the 2020 Business Person of the Year because of the huge asset she is to our community. Without her and Steve in our lives, the world would be sadder. Now that I'm a puddle, do I get to hug you or not here?
You can say anything.
Yes, you get to say something. Thank you. This is a huge shock, as I am in tears. For me, business is not about the money that you make. It's the friends that you gain from that. And also just, I'm always willing to help just about anybody. I like to share the knowledge that I have, and I hope to help any business that has any questions. So thank you.
You were going to be Citizen of the Year.
Updated on any changes with the Chamber, especially with the new hire over email. And like I said, hopefully we'll be able to get back to those networking events in person super soon. So hang with us until that happens, but anything you need, reach out via email and we'll take care of it. So thanks for coming tonight.